to the good part, the shortcut. So here's my secret weapon when it comes to creating prototypes of any sort of graphical user interface. It takes a really long time to manually create an interface. ChatGPT or any other AI engine is a massive time saver with things like this, where the task is simple and repetitive, but somewhat tedious. And I just want to show you how I can go from 0 to at least part of the way complete with just a few sentences in ChatGPT. Okay, so I'm using ChatGPT 4.0, and all I'm going to do is, if you remember last time, we did this Mad Libs window, and it looks like this, right? We spent a really long time coming up with the window, dividing it in half, adding the noun and the verb, and the button and the labels. It took a long time, right? So let's recreate that using ChatGPT, except let's make it a little better. The first thing in this recipe, and I'm going to give you the recipe that I like to use for ChatGPT in doing this. And by the way, I have no problem with you using ChatGPT to create your interface, or at least prototype your interface for this assignment. No problem at all. I think it's a good exercise. So I am making an app using TKInter and Python. Please create the following interface for me. Okay, ChatGPT, good recipe. If you want something good out of ChatGPT, you want to give it some context. You want to tell it what you're doing. You want to give it the parameters. Here are the tools I'm using. And then you want to give it a list of very concise things that you want it to give you. So first thing, the window size should be 800 by 400. Oops, hang on. I didn't want to do that. There we go, 800 by 400. Number two, the window should be split into left and right sides. The right side should have a label for displaying the results. Okay, now notice a few things so far that I'm doing. I'm using terminology that actually relates to TK interface. I'm not saying what it should do. I'm actually describing what the interface should have on it, because later on I'm going to have to come back and attach to this. So if I want to make a user interface that's really usable for me, I have to tell ChatGPT how to do it. So on the left side, I would like to have 6 entry fields with labels on their left. Each field should be named as follows. Okay, noun 1, noun 2, noun 3, verb 1, verb 2, verb 3. The left side should, gotta keep my numbers going here. Left side should have a title that says Mad Libs. The window should have the same text as the title. Okay, there should be a button at the bottom of the left side that says generate Mad Libs. Okay, let's see what we get so far. Actually, I'm going to give it a final instruction here. Oops, stop. That's not what I wanted. I'm going to give it a final instruction here that says everything should look fun, but yeah, everything should look fun. Okay. So now I'm asking for 6 different things. ChatGPT went above and beyond and actually generated the whole Mad Libs for me. Sometimes it does that. But notice, look at all of the repetitive stuff that, yeah, I know how to do that. I could do that by hand, but I'm not going to learn anything except how much I hate creating interfaces by hand. There's really not a strong reason, once I understand what's going on, that I couldn't use this to create something better. Now, I didn't really want it to create the whole Mad Libs for me. Oof, those colors. Okay, so remember what I said about how creating your own interfaces can look like garbage? ChatGPT just made the point for me. But this is a fully functional program. Bike, ear, shoe, run, jump, slide. All right. So there is an entire Mad Libs generated in, I don't know, what was that, 3 minutes of typing? Now, it's ugly as sin. But the nice thing about ChatGPT is this is a conversation. Don't forget, this is not a search engine, it's a conversation. So let me fix that. That is really ugly. Please get rid of all Comic Sans and change the colors to something better. Make sure everything is readable. Also, I only wanted the interface. All right. So now it's going to get rid of the script for me because I'd prefer to do my own part of that. But you'll notice it's just doing what it's told here. So let's copy that. Let's see what the new and improved version looks like. Okay, so that's a little bit better. This button is still craptastic though. You can't read it at all. I'd probably go through 1 or 2 more rounds of fine-tuning this, and then I would dig into actually doing the code for it. And I might have left that code and just played around with it. Now, this works really well. It'll do the whole thing for something this simple. But for anything more complicated than this, you are going to have to do the coding yourself because it's really too complex for ChatGPT to understand what's going on there. It understands the Mad Libs. And also it has access to hundreds of prototypes of this same assignment as people have done this assignment online and shared it and stuff. I could find code like this by looking at Google. But the nice thing about this is that it meets my exact specifications. So you'll notice maybe some things that still need to be fixed. But like I said, I would probably do a couple more iterations of this before I finalize it. I would definitely fix that button, probably make the title a little bit bigger, and I'd probably make the text in the main window a little bigger because there's so much room there. But if I go through this, you can look. There is the problem right there with that button. So if because I know how this interface works, I can go through and fix those things pretty easily myself if I need to, right? So there's the button, there's the entry. So let's see here. Title label, left frame, main frame. Right frame, white width, result label. Okay, so there is the results. So if I wanted to change that to a bigger typeface, I could do that pretty easily. Like you can go through and find what's going on because you kind of know what it is you're looking for. I know that I was looking for the results label or a label that's on the right-hand side. So I can justify its center. I can do all kinds of different things. But the point is, once you know how to use a component, using AI to augment what you know or speed up repetitive tasks, that's what AI does really, really well. But you get way more mileage out of something like ChatGPT if you are at least somewhat knowledgeable about what you're asking for. If you ask for the right things, you're going to get things that are much more powerful. Could I have generated this without that? Yes, but I could not have gotten this far this fast. And once I have it, I won't know what to do with it. So there's some things left in there for us to know and some space for knowledge. It's sort of like driving a car, right? You can drive a car if you don't know what you're doing, but you can drive it a lot better if you know what you're doing. The tool is limited by what you know.